Hello and welcome to another review here at Frontline Model Hobbies, and yeah, 1/100 scale Doyusha, is that how you pronounce it? Boeing 747 jumbo jet. Now, we went to a show just gone last weekend, and it was the Northern show, and I must admit, I've got to say thank you for everybody that bought from the show. You know, great to see you all, and great to just chat shit, to be honest with you. So yeah, really cool. And I'm sort of doing my thing on the trade table, chatting to people and doing what you normally do. And I turn round, on another trade table, there's that. And I sort of like look round, look at it and go, oh, that's 1/100 scale. Oh. I sort of got my head in my hands, and I'm thinking, I know what's going to happen here. So anyway, I got the kit for a decent price, which I think 60 quid is a decent price. I've seen two kits go for more, so yeah, decent price, decent bloke. And yeah, so anyway, I'm sat there. I look through the box, and later what you'll see in the review is this kit is of tale of two halves. So it is from the 1970s, this kit. It's not Doyusha's kit, it's a Reeboks of another manufacturer, which I've totally forgot what it was. It's up there, I'll put it there. So as you do as a modeler, you sort of sit there and go, oh, there must be a review on the kit, or somebody built it, or this, that and the other. So you go on Scale Mates, no reviews. You go on, has anybody built the kit? And probably two people's built the kit and said it's difficult to go together. Well, it's a huge 747 with a big long seam, and it's a 1970s kit, so yeah, I knew that anyway. But I need a 1/100 scale 747, so I'll just get that, and it's cheap. So that's the reason why this review, I'm doing it, is because mainly it's an older kit, and I want to see and show you the tale of two halves from this older kit. Now, some of you might say, well, hang on, caught you out there. They've added new sprues, but I can't see why, because it's just a Reeboks, and it says Reeboks. It doesn't say on Scale Mates Reeboks, but with new sprues or new parts. It just says Reeboks. So anyway, and the other reason why is because there's no review of the kit, and that's why I'm doing it. And the third reason why I got the kit is because I want to do a NASA 747, and that's why I put the NASA 747s at the beginning of the video. That is the plan. And I want to do it for next year, because I'm 40 next year, and I was born in July 1983, so I want to do a blue striped 747 for next year, for July. Now, that being said, I've been trying to look again on the internet, as we do, and all I can find is Enterprise on it. Now, I don't want to do the testbed vehicle, I want to do a line bird, I want to do a mission shuttle. So will it be, and I know I've googled this and I forgot, but I know I can do Challenger, and I just can't remember the build dates of all the shuttles, but it'd have to be one that's been built before 1983, and that actually flew, because I want to do it battered, because with it on the 747 you'll be able to see it. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking shit and rambling on like some sort of demented person, and let's have a look in the box. Right guys, so you've got the gist of basically what I'm going to be doing with this one, and as you can see, the box is massive. It's a proper size, and obviously when I open this box up, you'll see why the box needs to be this big. But nothing too elaborate on the box, so we'll just dive straight in. So least. This one's easier than the last one. Now, as you can see, you've got these two little cards on the end that protect it. And then, this is why you can see the box is so big. Now, literally, when the aircraft's like that, I mean, you can't even get it in, but when the aircraft's like that, it doesn't actually fit, so it has to go like that. So yeah, so basically, fuselage half, another half, you've got the wings, so you've got two halves there, and then you've got the two halves for the tails. You've got a bit of blurb what to do, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, quite a big heavy sprue that one, and 7. So you've got 7 main sprues, and then you've got a stand, the instructions, and the decals. So, with that in mind, I will zoom you in and show you what is what. Okay, so we'll start off with the instructions, as we normally do. So front main page, nothing there, and then you've got some 1970s pictures of the aircraft with a bit of blurb, which you're never going to use ever because you'll use the internet. Straight over the page, obviously you've got your sprue callouts and all your major bits, and then it tells you everything what each part is, which I think is quite nice, to be honest with you. So yeah, you've got all that. Then straight into the build. So this being an airliner kit, you are going to be putting a shit ton of windows in, but the one piece. So whether these fit, I don't know, because there's not many builds of this kit. Obviously you've got your rear EPU burner thing, which is that thing there. I think that's what that is. And then you've got a 4-part segment stand. So yeah, that's first page. Second page, you're never going to see this in a billion years unless you sort of cut the side of the fuselage open and actually show it. But why would you do that anyway? Because I wouldn't. That being said, you're never going to see that anyway, so there's no point. And then this is the bit that I was excited at until I saw the parts, and I'll explain later. But the landing gear is very detailed for the scale and for what it is, and from the 1970s. So kudos to them. And plus you've got wheel chocks, and you've got individual segment tyres that will go on to the hubs. Very nice. Moving on, and obviously this is your first gen 747 engine. So this will be, I don't think it'd be Rolls Royce. Is it Pratt and Whitney? I don't know. Somebody from the airliner world will, I'm sure, tell me. But I don't think it's an early bypass engine, whichever. But you've got a shaft that goes down the middle. Bit of a gimmick because you're going to glue everything together anyway. But that being said, it looks pretty nice and detailed there. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. And then obviously putting the wings together, the rear stabilisers together, horizontal stabilisers, and putting everything onto the wings. You can't really say anything else on that because that's straightforward. And then putting the main wheel bay together and the front wheel bay and putting everything in. Putting the stairs in, you're never going to see that, so you might as well leave that out. And yeah. Next on, putting the wings on, putting the front landing gear on, done and dusted. I'd wait until you put or you've painted it before you put the landing gear on. And then putting the landing gear and the doors on. Detail wise, 70s kit, so don't expect a lot. But that being said, moving on to the end, you're putting all these little lumps and bumps on it. So you're putting all the pitot tubes on. And Airfix, are you listening? Are you listening, Airfix? 2 windscreen wipers. At least they got it right. And then putting the front canopy on, which is the tiniest canopy I've ever seen in my entire life. Especially for a big kit like this. And that is it. Not a lot. So with that in mind, let's have a look at the sprues. Anyway, I've brought the camera out as much as I can, to be honest with you, without sort of sacrificing detail. But as you can see, this kit is huge. So obviously there's two halves, so I will show you both halves just to show you that the detail is the same. But I'm actually stood up for this because this is actually a big kit. So anyway, as you can see, now this is the first thing that I wasn't surprised at, but 1970s kit, you are going to have raised panel lines. That being said, the doors are recessed. So the doors aren't brilliant, the gaps are massive. I mean, you could lose a person in that one. So you might have to fill it, do something with it, I don't know. But either way, as you can see, raised panel lines all the way down. But they're quite good panel lines. Don't get me wrong, if you like raised panel lines, they're not too bad. There's a bit of flash on the bottom, what you can expect. That being said, the detail is there. So, and it's quite crisp, as you can see on the front. So that is one half. You've got all the blades on there, all the fins and all the stuff on there. So you are going to knock it off. When you sand that seam, oh yeah, you're going to knock them off. So you might as well take them off anyway. And then the other half, again, bit of flash at the front, but quick swipe with the sanding stick should be fine. These windows don't look perfect all the way down. But that being said, they're not far off. Literally not far off. So yeah, again, all the way down, pretty cool on that. So both halves going together. Like I said, I don't know about this kit, so, but me trying to put the two fuselage halves together, I've noticed there might be a bit of bowing in that. And to be fair, it is fighting me at the front. Oh yeah. So yeah, oh no, that was the half. Right, okay, well, we'll move on to the next bit. Okay, so first major sprue. With it being white plastic, it's notoriously really difficult to photograph and video, so I'm going to try my best anyway. So I've brought you in as close as I can. As you can see, it's quite a big sprue. 4 major parts, two halves, so I'm going to quickly go over this. But as you can see, recessed panel lining all the way through. A bit trench-like, but I suppose you could do something with it. You could fill it or try and get away with it. But nothing really major to talk about in there. But it is crisp, don't get me wrong. So, you know, it's actually straight and perfect. Lower half, or the lower two halves, you've got very nice crisp panel lines. Again, trench-like, but I suppose you could fill them or fill them to a point with triple P. And you've got solid location points for the actuator boots for all the flap system. Again, flaps and slats are all solid, moulded in. I suppose you might be able to cut them out, but it's a lot of work. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's them. The other major sprue is obviously all the internal parts, which is, yeah, virtually everything. So obviously you've got some relatively nice detail. I must admit, again, very crisp going through. Obviously you've got injection pin marks as you go through, which is natural for the type of kit. Most of this detail anyway, and most of the parts you're never going to see anyway. You're going to see the wheel wells, but you're never going to see this internal ribbing detail, so I'd never paint it. But if you were going to paint it and put the windows on, paint these black. You won't see inside there anyway. On the opposite side, proper old school numbers on all the parts, especially you'll have to get rid of that one. But other than that, you know, nothing really to speak of on there. You've just got, like I said, the ribbing on there. So, yeah, nothing major. Next major part is the engines. So this is all the exterior part of the engines. You've got some internal parts there, but majority of it is the external parts. Now if I bring you really close in, as close as I can get you, you can see on there that that is recessed panel lining, and yeah, it's not perfect, but damn, it's close. So you are going to have some flash on here as well, and each one is recessed, including the front engine shrouds. And again, like I said, you've got the internal parts there, which again is nicely crisply moulded, as you can see. So another large sprue to go together. So the last of the major sprues, this one is a tale of two halves, this one. And the reason for that is this side, you've got raised panel lining. Ooh, ah, ooh. But this side, even more, ooh, ah. You've got recessed and recessed rivets as well, which are very, very fine, as you can see there. So again on there, and again on the doors as well. But on the opposite side of the doors, you've got next to no detail, which I can't remember on the 747. I don't think it's got major amount of detail, but there again, very nicely done. Same on the other part of the doors. But the nose gear doors are raised bunt rivets. The same with that one. I think that's the front main, I think. And then you've got, obviously, there the closed, that's the open. So you've got the option of both. And then there again, you've got recessed on there and then raised on there. So, like I said, tale of two halves of that one. Okay, this is the sprue that actually caught my eye. And obviously the landing gears, you can see. All the landing gear parts are on there. And one thing I saw, or I noticed, is that the detail is very good. Obviously the injection pin marks are very, very deep in certain areas. The other thing I noticed is it's very flimsy, and obviously you've got a large kit on there. The detail's very nice. Like for example, inside those wheels, you've got some actual bolt heads in there, if you noticed them. You've got your brakes there, so your brake discs. The other thing I noticed is that, and it is mentioned on one of the, somebody's built one on a particular forum, that these axles here are very fragile. So you might have to cut them off, drill the centre of the, what are they called, like bogies or whatever they are, part of the landing gear. Drill the centre through that, so through that centre there, and then actually pin it. It'll be a lot easier and a lot better and a lot stronger. But there again, details there, yeah, can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with that. Last but not least, obviously you've got your engine components. So these are all the internal parts, and also you've got your tyres on there. So you've got your individual tyres, and I don't know if the camera's going to pick it out. It is struggling a bit today. But you've got the tread pattern on there, but also you've got a very thick centre seam. So you would be getting rid of that tread pattern near enough. But that being said, it ain't too bad. Not the best, but not the worst front fan blade assembly. And again, you're going to have sink marks like there and this, that and the other. So, you know, not too bad on that one. Yeah. Okay, and finally, we have the decal and paint call-out guide and the decals themselves. And to be fair, I don't know if you can see that, but that is proper tracing paper. But not only that, looks like I've wiped my arse on it. But anyway, I wouldn't even use them. Not even for anything, because there's no point. And not only that, the decals themselves, I would never use old decals unless you really needed to and you couldn't get any more. But you can get 1/100 scale decals, I've checked. So you can get any scheme you would like. Anything. Literally anything. So, that is that. And there we have it. So, I told you, Taylor, 2 halves this one. So you've got your recessed and your raised panel lining. It's a 1970s kit, so don't expect a lot. But do expect some niceties here and there. And I do mean literally here and there. For me personally, it was a cheap kit, so, you know, yeah, for the price and what they're going for now, it was a no-brainer. So yeah, I will be building this one, but it won't be for a while because I've got priorities and I need to get on with the 262s, to be honest with you. I need to get on with them, but I've got other kits that are getting in the way. I'll explain that in the next video. So yeah, nice kit, nice thing. So I'm going to stop bambling and stop talking rubbish because I did that at the beginning, so I do apologise. And yeah, I want to say thank you for watching, and I will see you again next time. Cheerio.